All right, so first question, super chat from my boy David. David, I appreciate you each and every week. David says, was it too much too soon for Jordan Reed? And your boy Hasty looked good. Yeah, JaMychal Hasty, obviously the undrafted free agent out of Baylor, the running back, limited playing time. Yeah, it was like two carries for 9 yards, something like that. He did look good. And obviously, he's a work in progress right now. It wasn't too much too soon for Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's just a fragile guy, and that's why he was unsigned up to this point, because of the concussion history, the lower body history. And guess what? Sometimes the football field is just unforgiving. Was it too soon for Nick Bosa? No, it's just a freak injury. It happens. Same thing happened there with Jordan Reed. It stinks, but at the same time, it's only 6 to 8 weeks, and so really the hope is that, midway through the season, right when you need a good little boost off of the bench, in comes the backup tight end in Jordan Reed. So, no, it wasn't too soon, but it does stink overall. This one is from Chris Cheez-It. I wonder if that's his actual last name. You think the Niners should trade Jimmy or Mullens? There it is. That didn't take long. And what are the draft value for each team? Okay, so the problem that we have right now with this idea of trading Jimmy or obviously trading Nick Mullens is that, one, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Even if Garoppolo came back next week, was healthy the entire rest of the year, they're not going to trade Nick Mullens because they need him as a backup quarterback, as you saw this week. Now, as you get to the offseason, I'm sure we'll have the debate, especially if Mullens plays more than one game. Who do you keep? This is easy. You keep Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's a far better quarterback. I know Nick Mullens looked fine on Sunday. It's the Giants. That's the Giants. And then the Jets in the second half. Mullens is a great backup. He's not a starting quarterback. I think this is ridiculous. I'd be shocked right now to see you guys typing NM down below to say that Nick Mullens is better, because he's not. He's not at all. And I'm looking at the chat right now. There's no way he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Listen, Mullens is a great backup. He's a great backup. But do you want Nick Mullens to be your starting quarterback? I don't think so. I mean, Jimmy G went to an darn Super Bowl. What do you want? Is it Jimmy G's fault that they lost that Super Bowl? That's a whole different conversation. We're going to skip that one overall. But let me know what you guys think. I'm seeing a mixed bag right now down below in the comment section. A lot of questions as well, which we're going to keep on rolling through there. But which is a better quarterback? To me, it's obvious. Is Fred one of the best linebackers in the league? No, he's not, but he's darn close. He's very close. There's a guy in the division. His name is Bobby Wagner, and he is the best linebacker in football. You watch that Dallas Cowboy game after the Niner game where they not thankfully, I don't like the Cowboys. They lost, but it would be nice to beat the Seahawks. Wagner's ridiculous. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. And Warner's not a Hall of Fame level yet, but Warner is in the same mold as Bobby Wagner, and so eventually could become a Bobby Wagner type player. How about that? Matthew says here, are we going to win against the Eagles, and should I play Brandon Aiyuk for my fantasy league? I am going to pick, spoiler alert, this is for later on in the show, but I am picking the Niners. Shocker, right? I'm picking the Niners. They should be able to go ahead and win this football game. Aiyuk is a tough call because the Eagles aren't a bad defense, but they do have Darius Slay, and Darius Slay has been shadowing receivers. I mean, he shut down A.J. Green on Sunday against the Bengals. So I wouldn't start Aiyuk. You got to have a better option on the bench there, because unless Aiyuk is your bench wide receiver, it's too early. Philly's got a better secondary than a lot of other teams. I would start Aiyuk later on the season when he's got a lot more reps overall, because it's early, right? Start now. He'll work his way in. A couple of catches yet last week, a couple more this week, and keep going. And so later on, by second half of the year is when you start really wanting to focus on a guy like Brandon Aiyuk. It's a little too early. Okay, well, we mentioned it, so let's just go ahead and go to a score prediction for 49ers Eagles Week 4 Sunday Night Football. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Give me your predictions. I have my predictions set up for later on in the show. I don't think I'm allowed to reveal it just yet. Hint, the Niners are going to win, in my opinion. But I want the score prediction. So I want a realistic score prediction down below in the comment section. I'm waiting for those to go ahead and roll in as we're live right now. Over 600 people watching. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Give me your Week 4 score predictions right now. Comment section. Let me know in the comment section. I'm seeing a lot of the older ones saying keep Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, at least we're level-headed today, so that's good overall. Here are your odds, by the way. 7-point favorites. That's moved from 6.5 just yesterday, so it's going in the favor of the 49ers. Over-under currently sits at 45. Remember the last time Philadelphia played San Francisco was the Eagles' Super Bowl year in 2017 when there was C.J. Beathard at quarterback. It was raining in Philadelphia, and the Eagles rolled them, which hopefully it's a different outcome for this game overall. There is your over-under, and of course your line right now. It sits, again, 7-point favorites for the 49ers, which really, really means you got to bet on the game. I mean, -7 to San Francisco is a great betting odds. You're going to win some money here with our partner at BetUS. Go to chatsports.com/49bet, and that is the place to go ahead and use your promo code Niners125, which gets you 125% deposit bonus whenever you guys first sign up. If you like sports betting, this is the best place to go ahead and do it, because you put down $100 and they turn it into $225 for your betting pleasure, and you just bet on the 49ers. And again, odds are you're going to go ahead and win a lot of money. So chatsports.com/49bet. Again, there's your promo code right there on the screen, right over here. Niners125 for that 125% deposit bonus. Check that out right now. Just put in your little URL, little Google, and just throw it up there. Okay, moving on to the next question. Here comes from David. Update on Mostert. Doesn't seem like Mostert's going to be good to go this Sunday, although they weirdly not mentioned him the past couple of days in terms of press conferences. So there really isn't an update on Raheem Mostert. We know it's a knee injury, which resulted in him missing the football game, or, not starting the football game, and obviously Hasty playing, and then Jeff Wilson Jr. playing, and McKinnon playing. But still, they rushed just fine. They weren't doing 150 yards like they normally do, but they've been fine without him. I don't expect Mostert to play on Sunday, but we'll have more updates on that later on in the week. Still maybe a little bit early on knowing if Mostert's going to be good to go or not. Should we play Kittle next week? Good question. Should we? No. Will they? I don't know. Listen, Kittle is still dealing with this knee injury, and you're at a point in the NFL season where you, as the GM, or you as head coach Shanahan, have to basically decide, right? You have to decide if you need him out there or if you just want him to be out there. If you need him out there, then you can play players who are injured, right? But if you just want him out there, then don't play him yet. And I don't think they need him against the Philadelphia Eagles, because the Eagles, again, their linebackers are terrible. And so covering George Kittle shouldn't be, or covering Ross Dwelley would be a problem even if it was George Kittle, right? So they showed in the Rams game that the Eagles, Nathan Gary, are terrible at covering tight ends. Tyler Higbee went off. If you had Higbee that week, you balled out in fantasy. So no, they don't need him to play this week. And honestly, I just don't expect him to play. It'll be a decision on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll cover that here on the channel. I don't expect him to go ahead and play, and he should just rest as long as he possibly can, the way he's healthy for the latter part of the year. Next question here comes from Daniel, who says, would Jason Verrett start for the rest of the year if he's healthy? Would he also get an interception this season? I mean, he should get an interception this season, right? 16 games, like pick one of them. It's not that hard. I guess it is, kind of. I think that he will. So obviously Mosley dealing with the whole head injury right now. Witherspoon is out. They are decimated at cornerback. Sherman's been out. He's not going to come back till next week, maybe even the week after that. But so far, Verrett has played pretty well in limited action. He obviously had an injury a little bit earlier at the same time. I think that they will start him. That's what was the plan at the start of week 1 before all the injuries happened, and then now he just kind of is playing that position. So yes, I think that he will start the rest of the year if healthy. And I think he should get an interception. I mean, come on, right? That's what we pay cornerbacks to do. Go ahead and football off. Next question here says, should we trade for a cornerback? No, I don't think that they're not at trade for cornerback levels right now. And again, the Niners are very lucky. Their first couple of games are against bad football teams. You sit there and you talk about how it's the Giants, and it's the Jets, and it's the Eagles, and obviously it's the Dolphins, and it's all these teams that are not worrisome from a cornerback / wide receiver perspective. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't really even care in terms of trading for a cornerback. Later on in the year, hopefully you have Sherman back and all the rest of the guys healthy, and so they should be able to be just fine. But they've been fine against Daniel Jones, fine against Sam Darnold. I think they'll be fine against Carson Wentz on Sunday. Until they get obliterated on the back end, I wouldn't worry about it too much. And honestly, there aren't many cornerbacks that teams would want to trade you anyway. So just I wouldn't expect that to be a possibility at the same time. Make sure you're sub, though. I mentioned all those injuries, including the Mostert stuff. Like I said earlier, we're going to cover that on our video probably Thursday. So we'll get all the information on Wednesday. Thursday morning, I'm in the lab, right? I'm in front of the camera, looking all fantastic. Boom, latest news. We always do that here on the 49ers Report. That way you have the latest news in terms of what's going on for not only your fantasy team, but for your favorite team in San Francisco. So click the big red subscribe button down below. The way you guys are subbed and are notified, obviously, whenever that stuff is supposed to go ahead and happen. So jump on the sub link right now. We're approaching 30,000 subs, which is awesome, and I appreciate you guys. The Cheez-It Man, again, I think the defense is better with or without Sherman. Without Sherman, they can run more man. Yes, they can, but they're better with Sherman on the football field, right? Johnson is not a starting caliber cornerback. That's why they just kind of rushed him in there, and they threw him in there because Mosley and Witherspoon and the rest of the guys are all hurt. So, no, they're not better without Sherman. I would disagree. If Sherman's healthy, you play him. If he's not healthy, you obviously sit him. If he's healthy, you need him to keep him out there. Next question here comes from Justin, who says, can we talk about how well Kinlaw has been playing. He's been progressing very nicely. Yes, he has. Thankfully, he's needed to, and he's obviously been thrusted into a starting role because of the injuries to Solomon Thomas and Nick Bosa. Now, we reported earlier on training camp he was struggling, and Solomon Thomas beat him out, right? Solomon Thomas beat him out for the starting job, meaning he was not playing well. Well, guess what? You get the guy's feet wet, you give him some playing time. You know, he would have had 4 preseason games. You're about to play your 4th game of the season here on Sunday night. He's starting to play a lot better. That's great news right now for the 49ers. And so he has progressed very nicely and shows exactly why the 49ers went out and spent a first-round draft pick on a guy who, I mean, they were expected to go ahead and win the starting role, and yet in the end were unable to. Listen, you're going to need him when you play against some of these better teams in the National Football League, and obviously there are some really, really good ones. Who is the best team right now, or I guess the most dangerous team in the National Football League, the one that's scaring you the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. The biggest threat. I think it's either Seattle or Green Bay. The Rams are decent, but they don't scare me. The Bucs will get their act together later on in the season, but they still don't scare me that much. Seattle is probably the best team in the NFL right now, minus the Chiefs. And Green Bay is stacked. They're loaded with both young players. They got great young cornerbacks. They have, obviously, Aaron Rodgers. They have a great offensive line, 2 of the best tackles in the National Football League in Bakhtiari. I think right now it's either Green Bay or Seattle. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, because I'm curious what you guys think in terms of this overall. Because, yeah, the Rams are going to be a threat. Like, the Rams won't be an easy game. The Bucs wouldn't be an easy out in the postseason. But Seattle and Green Bay are both very, very good, and I think those are 2 teams that you need to go ahead and keep an eye on here. So I want to see what you guys think down below in the comment section. I've seen a lot of people saying it's Green Bay. I mean, Rodgers is scary, but see, so is Russell Wilson, right? I mean, how do you pick which one's more scary? Russell Wilson threw back-to-back 5 touchdown games, the first quarterback to do that in like 10, 20 years. So it's, it's interesting overall in how it works, but I think that as you look at something like this, to me, it's Seattle and Green Bay, and a lot of people are agreeing with me right now in the comment section, which of course is how they should do it. Next question says, we need to fix the mobile quarterback problem on defense. How can we do that? Are you saying the mobile quarterback problem or the Kyler Murray problem? I don't know how you stop Kyler Murray. Detroit did it on Sunday. Ask Detroit. Ask Matt Patricia. Listen, Kyler Murray is one of those football players that, much like Lamar Jackson, is up and down. You saw Lamar Jackson last night. Mobile quarterback. Didn't do much. The trick and the key is to get a lead. That way they can't run the football. You force them to throw. Now, I think Kyler Murray is a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. I don't think it's a hot take either. I think he's just better overall. And so as you look at them side by side, defending them is just a little bit different. With Lamar, you sell out for the run, and you just live with him beating you with his arm. With Kyler, you kind of can't do one or the other because Kyler can throw. Plus, he has DeAndre Hopkins, and he's really good. So I don't know if they have a mobile quarterback problem. It's just a tough problem that everybody has right now in the NFL because every quarterback is mobile, minus Brady, Breeze, and I mean, like, Rodgers is mobile too. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I don't know how to fix it, honestly. And if I did, I'd probably be a coach and not sitting here talking to you guys. Not that I don't like it. So the next question here, the super chat coming from Tyler. Tyler, I appreciate that. You super chat. You're guaranteed to get your questions on the show. 49ers, should we sign Colin Kaepernick? No. Now, what do you want to say? Colin Kaepernick's not played in 4 years. 4 years. Think about something right now. Well, let's say you're a coder. Let's say you work in finance. Let's say you maybe a NASCAR driver or a football. If you don't do something for 4 straight years, you then expect to do it at the highest level. Like riding a bike, right? You can not ride a bike for 4 years and then hop on a bike and ride a bike, right? Now, could you hop on a bike without riding a bike for 4 years and compete in the Tour de France? No, that's the problem. There are 32 starting quarterback jobs in the National Football League for a reason. Kaepernick has not been one of them in 4 years. No politics, no blackballing, none of that here. It's a matter of could he do the job or not. I don't think so, which is why I say don't sign him.